Good morning, everybody. I hope this is streaming correctly. So, I'm taking a short, 15-minute break from work because I've been working for 5 hours, and I'm really tired. And it's only 6:47 in the morning. So, a couple of weeks ago, I purchased what I thought was this beautiful Stonehenge paper, and let me see if I can adjust this camera. And instead, I accidentally ordered this tiny little one, and I posted in how I felt ripped off that they were selling this for $10 when this was $16, and I had a lot of people read me about how I was being entitled, and it's my fault I ordered this size because I wasn't paying attention, and how dare I try to send it back. So I'm not sending it back now. I'm not getting my money back. So you win. So instead, I'll just use it, I guess. I'll go ahead and open it. And I will use it for sampling today. Instead of breaking up this beautiful black watercolor paper. So I opened this just now, right before I opened the camera. And I'm going to put it away. My desk is a mess. And today we're sampling watercolor paper. So what I'm going to do, we're sampling watercolors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one of these out and paste it in this book next to the watercolor on white to see the difference. And I don't know how I'm going to swatch this because seriously, the paper is just, it's mind-boggling tiny. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so there's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's just not enough of this to go around. Maybe I could just fudge it a little. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's just enough right there to do a whole Crayola pack. So that's what we'll do. So I'm going to just, I was thinking about testing this paper, but I'm actually going to start with this paper, because this is a mixed media and it's really old. And I just want to start using this book up. So I'm just going to go through all my watercolor paints and just now that I've gotten a little bit experience, I'm going to retest them. And what I'm going to do is then sometime today, I'm going to watch a video on not swatching but brushwork. And then I'm going to come back and reuse that paint with the brushwork and re-video. So if you want to come back, that's up to you. I'm also not using my good brushes, which these are still student quality brushes. Or, yeah, student quality brushes. Even though these are nice brushes, I am going to use Crayola brushes, which here, to test these Crayola paints with, because that makes sense, right? So there's 1, 2, and there's 1 in the thing, and there's 3. I think that's it. I also have these, and so I might, I'll do that as well. I need that brush. This is not a Crayola brush, and so I asked my husband to pick me up a brush set from Walmart, just because it had the really tiny points on it. And instead he brought me an angled set. But he tried. You know, they try. I didn't need it because, there's another Crayola brush, because I already have this angled set. And I don't even know what brand this is. I don't know where these came from. They're just random. But oh yeah, I have a full set of them. I think these are acrylic brushes, but I've just been using them for watercolor for various things. My cat's mad at me because I'm pulling things out. This is an Artist Loft brush I was using for mopping, but since it's not Crayola, we'll put it back. And so my pretty jar. There you go. I got this at the dollar store years ago, and now they're selling for $10 at Walmart. I'm just wow. So we're gonna slide those away, and the stencil I am using instead of washi tape is full cart ones, and they have something. Yeah, they have something dirty on them. So all I did is, I think I got these at Walmart. Yeah, full cart should be Walmart. And they come in these sheets with the 4 things on them. and 3 sheets of 4, so 12 stencils. I cut them apart so they're easier to manage, and because this was just too big to go in my little artist cubby thingy. So I am going to use this one for swatching. So anyway, so we're going to start with this cheap paper and some water and our brushes, and I'm going to fill this really quickly, and then we'll get started. So we're going to swatch it twice on this paper just so we can see how these brushes work. I've used them before. I have one small one. And yes, I fill it in the slowest way possible. I have a funnel somewhere, I can't find it. It's not like our house is a mess, y'all. It's just somehow everything winds up at my desk. And then I have to spend like 15 minutes a day like putting it back where it goes. I know some of that is my fault. Now I have to refill this. So yeah, we're gonna put that on there. And we're gonna set our other papers aside so we don't get them dirty. And I'm not going to wet the back of the paper today because this paper is so incredibly thin. And yeah, I know I need to paint my nails, and they are clean, they just, yeah. And I never noticed this until I actually got watercolor palettes, but the lid of this Crayola pan set is a palette. So we are going to use it as intended, people. I tend to add more water to the Crayola palette because just the wells are just so generous anyway. And then I'll have to add water later. So we are going to trace this twice. And I have a pencil here, I think. I should have been more prepared. I'll be more prepared next time. I always say that. So and I've actually used this before to swatch. I have some paper somewhere. Oops. Yeah, that's me. Getting my fingers in the water. I'm actually going to turn this around so that the palette's close to me. Alright. And I am going to move my can of soda out of the way. Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm drinking soda. I needed the caffeine today, yo. I was falling asleep at my desk. So I need a creative break to help me wake up. Also, I'm waiting for my breakfast to thaw. So like, I'm just really hungry and I can't concentrate. But you know, when you do creative stuff, for some reason you can't concentrate. I don't know. There we go. It's sort of straight. Alrighty. Ow. Thumb cramp. And so Crayola comes with these brushes. So you can see it's like that in the pan, even though nothing's ever touched it. It's like sideways, twisted. But now that I've had nicer brushes, I am impressed with the Crayola brushes. Yeah, it has a little fuzziness to it, but I've seriously been using this brush for ages. Not for watercolor, but for other things, other applications. And I am seriously impressed with them. Compared to like cheap brushes. They're like a whole world better. So that looks like the right size. And we're just going to start swatching. And I know there's a thing where you put the water in and then you touch the paint to it, and we're not going to do that on this paper because it doesn't want to have water. It does not like being wet. And there's brown. I think this is a type of purple. This looks like lavender or violet. It's very pink. I can't say I don't like pink because my cat's name is Pink and she gets upset. But I'm not a fan of the color. Just not. I think because the house I grew up in, like the walls were pink, everything was pink. My stepmother was obsessed with pink, and yeah. Pink and doilies and crystal. I feel like I'm wasting because I have to like then dip the thing in there and then get all the water back off of it or whatever. I pulled the water a little too much. So like, you know, it's not chalky. It may be a little bit of grain there, but it's not chalky. Unlike the Artist Loft set I have, it's like decent. By the way, there are no promotions in this. I am not affiliated with anything right now, and so I'm not selling anything. This is just me working with the paint I have on hand. There are no sponsorships, but I am open to them. So if you want me to test out your paints or products, I will gladly do so. I know there's 2 extra boxes. I just remembered that I only needed 16 boxes. It's red, so it should be black. I always like seeing how much different white paint is compared to the paper color of white. Oh, then I mean, I guess it's a different color of blue, but even in the palette, it's like the same color. Here, you thought I was gonna paint something cool, and here I am having you watch paint colors dry. That was my husband's cat tripping on something on his desk. Like, I'm not even worried about making sure the paintbrush is clean this time. Like, normally I'm like, oh, now that we've rinsed it, we have to rinse it again to make sure it's clean. Let's rinse it 3 times before we use it, and this time I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't know, I think I'm just really tired today. I was up late, and I normally am asleep by 7 o'clock or 8. And I didn't go to sleep till after 10 last night, and I am so feeling it today. Okay, so we did orange. And just like oranges, it's a beautiful orange color in the palette, and you open it up and it's just this bland color. So I'm curious why there are like multiple colors of orange in a Crayola palette for kids when they're like not even that much different in color. I mean, they are, but they're not. Look. So there's this purple, and then that's almost a purple, and then there's this purple. Which actually there's a big change between these purples, so I like it, but this color purple is really pretty. Yeah, I'll pull it close to the camera when it's all dried. So now I'm going to do some other weird brushwork. Then we're going to grab this green color, dab it along one end, and we'll grab this green color, dab it along this end. And you see how the colors just like they just stay where you put them. Evidently they're supposed to travel. And we're going to grab the medium green and put it in the center. See what happens. Well, that's kind of cool. Let's do that to the purples. So I had this weird idea that, like, if you have this buckling issue, that maybe we should take these and, well, not this one because it was like this from the store. It's all, yeah, jagged. But you tape the sides before you start using them, and then every time you use it, you use a knife to cut it out. I don't know. It was an idea. So I think I want to do orange, orange, yellow, orange, red, yellow, orange, orange, yellow, orange, orange. So yellow, which, okay, I think that's green. Yellow. this orange. Yeah, don't spread or anything. And I wasn't going for ombre, I was going for definite stripes. I'm being sarcastic. Y'all saw me paint this with water first, right? Yeah, that's kind of the look I was going for. Let's spread this deeper orange into the middle orange. Look at that, no shedding. So other sable brushes shed like crazy. So only 2 shades of blue. So let's do purple, 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 but so it's like a violet, I guess. Here. And this violet for the middle, and we're going to try to do middle next. That's spreading a little bit. And then we're going to grab this. I think we're going to do blue, blue, black. That sounds like it would be cool. Bear with me. Because of the paper buckling, the water's not moving the way I want it to. You know, we're trying. And apparently if you go over the lines with a stylus and make an indent, then the water won't, the paint will have a smooth edge. Because it'll go right up to the edge and then stay there. So we did green, we did orange, we did purple, blue. Orange, red, red. Orange, red, red. Orange, you glad I did orange again? I'm going to try a middle color. See what happens if you put a middle color and then a dark color. Two more of those swatches to go. We're going to swatch, I think, with this. So, see how different this is. It's really got a tiny tip. I think they have different tips, I'm pretty sure. If you look at them, yeah, they've got different tips. Funny story is I went and bought myself a pack of these, and then my husband went and bought me a pack of these. So now I have like 4 packs of these. I have no idea. They'd like multiply. But you see how these aren't like wanting to hold water, but I may be able to change that. I'm on the fence. I'm not sure if I like these water brushes or I don't like the water brushes. You know? Because they're really hard to rinse off. I feel like I can't ever get them clean. And sometimes the paint gets up into the water. And I'm just complaining a lot, I think. What color did we do last? Doobie doobie doo. Let's see if we can get a gray going. I'm going to make my grays. I'm going to mix black and white together. White is really gloppy. It's like got a skin on it. It's an interesting idea. Kind of coming out as a swirl. And now we're going to pull out a marker. I have to decide on a color. It's June 5th, right? Alright, well that's that with that paper. I don't know, should I even worry about Crayola colors on this? Because this is like the premium El Primo of paper. While this dries, waiting for paint to dry, waiting for paint to dry. We are going to start this book. You know what, I don't think I want to start this book today. Because I still haven't decided how I'm going to be swatching in it. I think what I want to do, because I saw this really cool tutorial on doing like a journey book, is like put swatches on this side and put brush strokes on this side, so I know what the paint looks like when I play with it. So I might want to also not use lower quality brushes. So we will get to this. This will be future episodes. I think I want my drawing to be a little bit better. And we're not going to use this. I'm sorry, I'm super hungry. We're not going to use this. Let me set it out of our way. When we come back today, we are going to use the watercolors on this paper, which is my old paper that I've been doing lessons on. I just took some Canson regular water paper from Walmart, and I think that's the back and that's the front, and I just cut it into fourths. That's why it's overly rough. So we're just not going to even worry about that. Another thing I think I want to do is use these stencils up, and I should have changed the name of this. It's not the Rose Challenge. This one is just swatching. So swatching for the week. But this week's challenge in the group I'm in is sunrises. So that's something to look forward to. And while we are here, we are going to grab a tissue and we're going to clean the spot. Well, a little better than that. And so the only thing I don't like about the Crayola brushes is that since I at one time used it for acrylic paint and now look like this, even though I have washed it with soap and shaped it, and I've even tried using hot water or whatnot, and it's still splayed. So something in acrylic paints really destroys brushes. And as you can see, this one has only been used for watercolor, and see how nice and smooth it is. All I did for soap is I got I didn't use a brush soap because I found out, no, that's not it. That's not even it. I found out that it's just Castile soap. So I took a bunch of shavings of a Dr. Bonner's Magic soap, plain, unscented, and I mixed it with water and I created like this gel. And the nice thing about this gel is you can put your brushes in there like that, look, and shape them. See that? And then let it dry and get your points. It's really nice. I'm gonna redo this brush because we weren't using it. And see, even with that, it's still not wanting to stick together. I'm really frustrated. So I'll clip those hairs later with the nail clippers. But yeah, so I just have this gel that I can use to shape brushes with. But the really important thing is you can't paint with these until it's fully rinsed out. So yeah, don't like go painting with it. Like, it would be a disaster if I use this one. For like put it in there. But yeah. Then I could kind of twirl it. It's really slimy. And then the best way of shaping, we're not going to talk about what that looks like, is to cup your hand and twirl. First one way, and then another, and using the groove of your hand to make the point. So you can see the only problem with watercolor brushes, or Crayola brushes, is they don't have a clear, concise point. So they're not great for real brush work. But they worked with this exercise today, and I think when I do the other strokes, I'll probably use, when I do the other swatches, I'll probably just keep using this so I don't have a bunch of water here dirtied. I will be back later, folks. I will be watching a tutorial later on my next break, and I will bring that tutorial and try to do some of the swatches they require. I probably shouldn't have done this here. So I'll probably just swatch right over it because obviously you can't lift it up off the paper, and that'll be cool. Or I'll figure something out. I'll figure something out because I'm, obviously not here today. And we're gonna put this away. Not that one, it's wet. And I will talk to you later, folks.